Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Taxonomy Tuesday. My name is Chris. I'll be your host this evening. Tonight, we're going to do something a little different. We're going to talk about backyard mushrooms, which I found out are also a lot of front yard mushrooms. And if you Google either one of those things, you will find every single mushroom because they don't know what your backyard is or isn't. Uh, it was really interesting actually going down the rabbit hole a bit and trying to sort out what these differences might be. Sue sent me over uh, a nice resource which also listed a lot of uh, different things. And then I said, well, what's in my backyard? So I looked in my iNet and I searched through and I came up with a list that I know is incomplete because I haven't started it that long ago. And before I belonged to the club and kept track of anything, there was other things that I'm sure are not on this list. But I'm going to start by reading the list and then I will invite you to my yard and I will show where I found some of these things. Uh, I have several unidentified Russulas, Chlorophyllum, molybdites, um, Lago, that's a smut that's found on wheat, uh, Peziza, uh, Usnea is a lichen, Agaricus, porphyrocephalus, Agaricus andrewii, uh, Satrius regulus, wrinkly stinkhorn, uh, Fuligo septica, which is a slime mold, um, an unidentified Agaricus, these real big giant ones, uh, Pluteus petasatus, some things out of the genus Parasola, Pluteus cervinus, uh, Conocybe macrospora, Pleurotus austriatus, Stemonitis splendens, it's another slime mold, Ganoderma curtii, uh, Baorangia bicolor, Gyroporous, uh, castellanus, Xylaria polymorpha, uh, Anasabe geophylla, Cortinarius, uh, Dismantis, Satharella, Rugocephala, Pinellus phonensiaceae. It's a bad pronunciation. Uh, Tremula, some Trametes versicolor, Exida glandulosa, Exida recisa, Schizophyllum commune, some yet uh, undetermined Galerinas, some Cortinarius, and just before it snowed, I found a couple of bird's nest fungi. And like I said, that's an incomplete list from a fairly small yard.
That's impressive. Good job on that.
Let's see here. right, could you guys see this?
Yeah.
All right. This is my yard. This is my house. Uh, and we'll start in the front yard. I wonder if I could just do that. Oh, bingo. So over out here, there's my little hedgerow of forsythia here. I found a lot of these chlorophyllums. They like growing just under these hedges here.
Whoa.
And they also grow kind of on this side. There used to be before I got the house, there was a couple trees in the neighboring lawn here that were no longer there, but uh, maybe they're eating whatever's left. In the back of this wildflower bed, right in the front, there's the Ganoderma grows there, along with a couple little brown mushrooms that, you know, I should be more attentive to. But there used to be a giant maple tree here that I had cut down because it was disintegrating into the street.
That's what the
So the
Ganoderma's growing on then, the roots from that probably.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just gonna ask, like, what's it growing? Yeah, cool.
So that's part of the thing is, it's by exploring your yard a little bit, sometimes you know what was there, or maybe you find out there was something there by what's there now.
I
Uh,
am loving this already. I think this is so fun to look at this like this.
the bird's nest fungi are right under this little spruce tree that I planted. I just saw them the other day sitting under the branches. So that'll be fun. I'm sure they'll spread all over these new wood chips I put out.
Which ones were they? Do you know if it was like Cyathus striatus or Cyathus crucibilum or a different one?
I'm not sure. I took a quick peek and kind of tossed it back. They were the ones that are pretty fuzzy on the outside.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Oh, are you going to show us a picture later?
I didn't even get a picture of that.
Okay. It's
I was
hard.
out
Yeah.
walking the dog.
Yeah. Okay. No problem. So this is great.
This right here is behind that flower bed that you could see, and that's where I get uh these Agaricus, which ones were they? These porphyrocephalus right there, and it is brutal hot sun there all the time, and they seem to enjoy it. They pop up all behind here and around this little tree that I planted. Maybe it's because I disturbed the ground a little bit, but they seem to pop up in the sun, like in the sunniest spot possible. Uh, I find some of the Pezizas in this other hedgerow along the side here. There's also some wood chips, and I'm always stirring the ground up there, planting flowers and stuff. So they seem to like the more that I like mess with the area, the more of them will just pop up. And they really like if you add a little bit of fresh wood chips. If the fungus is already there and you keep adding fresh wood chips, they'll just keep popping up. I found the Pleurotus austriatus was right here. This is a really old lilac. So it's like half. half new growth. Let's see. Yeah. So it's like half new growth, but underneath inside of here, there's a lot of stuff that's been cut year after year after year. So there's old stumps in there, and it was growing on one of the stumps of a lilac, which I did not know that was a thing that it would be, a host on that. Uh,
I think the Pleurotus is pretty opportunistic. Any kind of a hardwood
yeah, I used to
has a
have
good chance.
a little willow oak growing right here on the corner that I had to get rid of, and it also popped up on the stump after I cut that one down.
Mm.
So they're around in the area. Um, all along here, right on the very side of the house. And then this is a big giant willow oak that's in the right on my fence line here. And all of the Cortinarius I found this year, they were from all the way up here, all the way down around the base of this tree, because I have a lot of wood chips that I put down around this tree. And they weren't growing in the wood chips, but they were growing right next to them, which I just found interesting. Maybe it was just the moisture or whatever, but within inches of the line where the wood chips start and the yard ends. Uh,
Interesting.
and you can see this tree casts a monster amount of shade around here. So right here, there's a spot where the house casts shade, and underneath the tree, really no grass grows. It's a lot of moss and sand, and that's where I can find the Galerinas every year, right around the end of November, sometimes all year, the rest of the year when it's not a ton of snow. But they show up every single year right in the same spot. I have a little walkway that goes back to the garage, and they're right next to the walkway every time, growing in the moss and the sand, uh, in the spot that stays shady. They
The
never
gal
grow in the spot that the sun hits.
the Galerina,
Yeah.
and is it grown? It must be grown from buried wood under there somehow. Yes.
Well, there was a this tree in the neighbor's back driveway here. There's a maple here that's no longer there.
Hmm.
And I think there was just a lot of roots in here in this whole area. There was another tree here that I cut down years ago that was probably putting roots around here.
Hmm.
And I don't know, maybe it just, the stuff that grows and dies off of the oak.
Yeah.
But there's every single year like clockwork. Those Galerinas will show up usually after a considerable dip in temperature, and then it kind of comes back up, and boom, there will be little patches of them all over the place. Uh, and then, like in the front yard, in a very sunny spot, this spot right here, it never gets shade, never ever. And this is right where the Agaricus andrewii grow, and they'll pop up two or three every summer, right in this same area. Always in the grass.
Yeah, I've what I think is andrewii I found was in a big wide open area of lawn as well. I guess that
Yeah,
makes sense. They're like meadow mushrooms, so growing out, they must eat the decaying roots of grasses or something.
yeah, I assume it had because when you even pull them out, they seem to be very attached to that the dead lawn thatch underneath.
Yeah, cool.
All of this area, my house is not a church. The church is next door. They're really bothering me with this sign here. Uh, this little square here. Oh, this is a big garden. One of my big garden beds here. All the rows are all wood chipped in between. So I had some interesting stuff popping up there. A couple of the stinkhorns and some of that slime mold, the flugio one, the dog vomit
Septica.
one.
Yeah,
Quite a collection of that this year. Right under this willow oak. This is where all the russulas are. They're never really more than 20 feet away from the trunk of this tree. Same goes for uh, the Baorangia bicolor and the Gyroporous. Will usually be on the Gyroporous will be on the other side of the walkway, but still very close to the tree. Um,
Castaneas, right? You have,
yeah,
yeah. Do you eat those?
I haven't because when I do find them, I find like one, and they're tiny.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
This is all from like here all the way back to here is all wood chipped now. So there'll be a bunch of good stuff popping up there. Right about here, uh, I I just kicked over some of the chips, and man, they are full of mycelium. So who knows what'll be popping up. This whole fence line is all different kind of plants. Every once in a while, I'll have the parasol like to come up like right under. There's a bunch of rosemary right here, and I don't know whether it's the shade or what that they really seem to like this spot. There's still a bunch of wood chips everywhere else and all kinds of debris underneath the rosemary. It's like a bush at this point. So like almost like pine needle duff underneath it. And they pop up in there pretty readily uh, all throughout the summer. Uh, oh, I get those Xylaria polymorpha. I usually get them right along the fence line, right there, because just on the other side of this fence, there used to be a couple trees. There's tree stumps right here. And the Xylaria like to pop up right here. So whatever the stump is on this side, they really liked. And I also have a little makeshift greenhouse I made. The Xylaria are also eating the bottom of the wood I made it out of, and they pop up inside the greenhouse, but not outside the greenhouse, which I don't know is kind of interesting, I guess.
Yeah.
Maybe it's the humidity or some other kind of thing. Uh, right here in the driveway, you could almost see the big cracks in the concrete here. This is where the Pluteus cervinus pops up, uh, right in the cracks of the driveway. There used to be a giant old maple right here that I had cut down, and then all the logs from that maple are all. around this little spot right here that had been just rotting away forever. So I'll get some of the other stuff that pops up there, the little some little yellow jellies on the logs, and all of this garden beds back here, which are also all the pathways are all wood chipped. This is where it's other kind of the other Pluteus, lots of the stinkhorns, the slime molds, all like popping up in there. And they've been popping up there for a long time. Before I got this load of wood chips, I'm a cabinet maker by trade, so I bring home, shavings by the bag load sometimes. And they really do like it there. The different kinds of Exidas and the Schizophyllum and all of that are all usually underneath this oak tree. All the sticks that fall down in my yard that are big enough that haven't made it to the fire pit yet all get stacked up there. And it's just a great place to look for random stuff. There's a bunch of stuff out there that I'm sure I could just pick up some sort of different resupinate type polypores that are growing on a stick that came out of the top of a tree. That's just where the stuff gets piled, and that's where you find the random stuff from the tops of the trees, whereas usually that's where you'll find uh, the Exida, recisa, or the glandulosa. They're up in the tree, but then, you find them when they fall out of the tree. And that's where I find mine. After a nice rain, I'll go and stare into the pile of sticks and see if there's anything new and interesting there. There's also lots of lichens everywhere. There's a little bench right here that's got wooden slats that I don't know whether it's for lack of sitting in that bench, but the lichens seem to really enjoy it because there's a cherry tree right here that casts a good amount of dappled light on it. And they grow a lot faster than I thought there. Also on the edge of the little deck around the back of my house here, the lichens like growing all on the railing of it, and I don't take them off because they're pretty to look at. I just found some other lichen, some like crustose stuff on the rocks right around here on the edge of the fire pit, which I'll have to get a better look at after some of this snow melts. And I mean, that's my yard, and I know that's not everyone's yard because everyone's yard is different. But I find that it's my most productive foray spot because as you can tell, all my garden, I'm back there all the time. And just being in it is half of it. So if you're gonna walk past an area a bunch, or where something pops up, there's likelihood of it popping up there again. So you know to keep an eye out for it for the next time. And this year, personally, I'm gonna try to keep better track of my yard and see just how much I can find and put aside and look at later. Because I know, during mushroom season, I don't have enough time to look at the stuff in my own yard because I'm busy doing some other thing, looking at a thing I found at a foray or in the park or whatever. So I'm going to try to make my yard my wintertime project, and I'll start my own little yard-based herbarium and see how much stuff I could find in my own yard.
I think that's a great project. You'll be surprised. I mean, you already probably shocked yourself now as you talk through it how many different things you have there.
When I wrote down the list, which I
Yeah.
knew was not complete, it was pretty shocking.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love this. That was great, Chris. This is very inspirational, and I know we all have probably lists just as long if we took the time to write them down and pay attention. It was really cool. It's really fun to look at it that the way you presented that.
Yeah. Another thing that folks might want to do, because I certainly can relate to the being busy business, is just take some pictures and save your yard pictures off to their own folder or something and get to them when you get to them. But then you've got some record. That's quick and easy right there when you see them.
So, if anybody's got stuff from their yard or finds in general, a couple people sent some things in. But if anybody wants to share from their machine, I know we've had some interesting backyard finds in the past. Emily had a morel, which everyone's jealous of finding in their yard. And Hunter sent in some stuff.
Yeah, I sent some things a few minutes ago or a
All
minute
right.
ago.
Would you like to start us off?
Sure.
All right. Let me.
If you want to pull them up, or you want me to pull them up, or
Yeah, I got it. Let's what is that? Oh, it's just circling. Let me try to go back in. Let's try it. Oh, there we go.
all right. Yeah, so this not all of mine, by the way, are from literally my own yard, but they're yards that I can walk to. So I was looking for things mostly that literally were growing what I would say from the yard, the soil primarily. So yeah, so this first one is the ringless honey, the Desarmollaria cespitosa, and it's actually growing from wood, buried wood in the lawn, but looks like it's growing from the lawn when you find it. And it usually comes up in the in September when we finally get some rains, and then it will basically appear overnight, and there will be, I don't know, I've probably had 30 or 40 clusters of these at one time show up, and then a few more will come. So it does spread out over a few days, but the vast majority of them seem to come up all at once.
Got a
Nice picture, really pretty.
There's a
Yeah,
spot down the street from me that these things come up under actually they just cut down the tree. They still keep coming up.
yeah, yeah.
But
There's been
man, there's so many.
so many is right. Yeah, and white spore print. Um,
Yep.
yeah, yeah.
Maple.
Maple stump. Yeah, so they're getting less, and there's still a large pin oak that grew about 20 feet from this maple that met its demise. So I'm hoping it doesn't kill the maple. or to kill the oak. But anyway, those are fun. Um,
Do you ever eat those, Lila?
uh, so I did eat them once. I ate a very small cap, literally one cap. And this was before I knew the trick that the Dave W. always likes to elaborate on, and which is basically you parboil them like in two changes of water before you saute them. I didn't know about that, so I just sauteed and cooked it thoroughly. And it's the one and only mushroom I've ever eaten that did give me stomach cramps
Oh,
very quickly. And that, but it passed within, I don't know, a couple hours. But I have not tried to eat them again.
yeah. Okay.
Once bitten.
Yeah, I might someday, but especially because they when you find them, they can be really prolific, and they say to eat the smaller ones. Maybe like this size might even be too open for the people that really know what they're doing with eating them.
The buttons more even.
Yeah, more when they're still closed up, but of course you need to, be certain of what you've got before you start eating it, right?
Right.
So it's with time you get so that you can recognize them in their various stages. But anyway, it's a fun one.
Oh, that's a good picture.
Yeah, I get tons of these in my yard. This one is very common in the yard in the heat of the summer, so full-blown summer. They just pop up kind of here and there. They're fleeting, usually by 11 or 12, by noontime. They've succumbed to the heat or the sun and, basically wilt away to nothing. So they're quite ephemeral. Um, some people say that this is a poisonous mushroom. Um, I've talked to Dorothy Smullen about it. She doesn't believe that it is poisonous. It's probably something that a lot of kids and dogs have eaten because it's super common in lawns. Um, I'm kind of tempted to actually try it to see if there's any impact, but um, I don't think I will.
I would not. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't mention this one, but I've always thought these to be poisonous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's actually that one's quite large there. That's a big one for this by the looks of my hand in the photo. Usually they're pretty, on the smaller side. So, but yeah, I think that's another one that's, growing on the dead um, grass thatch or the roots of the dead roots of the grass or something along those lines.
Yeah, I find those on that on the nice mornings where there's a good amount of dew on the ground.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Macroceliota americana, I think. When is this? Yeah, this was quite a few years ago now, 6 years ago. Yeah, I don't know what to say uh, about this. Maybe I show some of the reddening. I don't know.
So this is the new name for this, or right? This is a newer name.
I think so.
Wasn't it just like Macrolepiota American?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Yeah, this is from 2020. I didn't know enough to
No, this is
be
the
handling it, but,
yeah.
but definitely growing in what passes for lawn, which is a lot of that Japanese switchgrass. A lot of the lawn is being taken over by that.
It's green. It
Yeah, it is
counts.
green. Yeah, I prefer moss, but
That's cool. Striations are.
yeah, when you look at it close, it is pretty interesting.
It's funny how the pattern is, so much like that chlorophyllum, but the overall like look of it is is very different.
Yeah, yeah. The I think the chlorophyllum, the patches or whatever are bigger and fewer, maybe. I don't know. Um, and the ring is prominent on that. I don't know. Do I have a shot of? Is there a ring in this? Seems like there should be a ring in this, but
It looks like there might be one that ends up there.
I just don't didn't. Yeah. Yeah, I probably have a better observation, but as I said, I just did the filtering on lawn. So if I had put lawn in the notes, this came up. So
That's another interesting thing. I wonder if I'll have to label all of my stuff yard.
yeah, so you can find it later.
And you're talking about searching your INAT observations that way?
Yeah. Yes. Yep.
Cool,
Yeah.
cool.
So I think this is Paniolus cinctulus, the banded mottle gill. So I had banding and the gills. If I think I must have a shot of that are mottled. It's an old one.
Which part is supposed to be banded?
I don't remember now, but I thought maybe it was the cap itself. I don't know. I'd have to look it up.
Oh, maybe
Like
this
there, you
one.
can see. Yeah, that's what I thought it referred to.
I think this one contains less, and
I believe so.
that's a cool picture.
Yeah, and so when
Hmm.
I recall now, when I was reading about this, it shows up in lawns. It gets actually, I think it likes dung, maybe, but or fertilized, well fertilized. So this is actually in a neighbor's lawn that is, impeccable and always being fertilized, and the lawn service mows it and all of this stuff. And I thought it was kind of hysterical that it was growing in their lawn. They probably were offended by it, but hopefully not. Um,
I mean, these type of the small brown lawn type of mushrooms, I think they're more often in the uh fertilized manicured lawns.
yeah. So here, I'm pretty sure that one on the left is the Canossipia pala. Um, so I just put it in for comparison, the two different things. They were growing inches apart, but I'm pretty sure that they're
And
different species.
the stipe on these seem to have that like twist.
Right. And more fibrous.
Yeah, big time striations.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, maybe that's a better word for it. So,
That's
maybe,
cool.
I don't know, for a stem, I'm not sure.
strigose or something. Maybe that's a better word.
That's cool.
All right, you mentioned andrewii, um, Christopher. So I think that's what this is. Not positive.
It definitely could be.
Mhm.
This is how mine really appear as well. This where the top of the cap surface is like barely flush with the rest of the lawn.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It seems to be the habit.
Hmm. And see the free gills. It's a little bit of something on the disc there, in the center of the disc.
Do you or Chris eat any agaricus or anyone else?
I don't eat any of these mushrooms I find. I belong to a mushroom club and I only eat things that I'm like super, super. And the agaricus kind of, you know,
Yeah, they're tricky.
they're super tough. I bought that agaricus book and man, I feel stupid.
Hmm,
I have not eaten any that I recall.
okay. So, Andrew, like, so what are the kind of defining characteristics of this one? That I mean, is this the meadow mushroom? No, right? The meadow mushroom or whatever. That's campestris, or
I mean, do we even actually have campestris? Or do we have
European, maybe? No, yeah, probably.
there was a nice cheat sheet to New Jersey that Igor and Sue put together for one of our newsletters. Actually, I might have which newsletter because I asked for it. Um,
This is coming back to me now. Yeah, I I vaguely remember that. Yeah, I need
Oh
to.
yeah, I can't remember. I gotta look it up. I'm pulling up Quo's page on this. All right. So andrewii is one of several primarily Eastern North American versions of campestris.
Okay.
All right, it can be separated by its spores, which generally fall in the 7 to 8 micrometer range lengthwise. Um, like other species in the group, it grows in grass, features a whitish cap, gills that progress from pink to brown, and a pointed stem base.
Can we see your stem base? I'm just curious. Okay, cool.
Um,
the newsletter with the list for the New Jersey ones was in the 2024 54-2.
Okay, I think I should have that.
you can get it off the web if you don't, off our website. Yeah.
Perfect. Okay.
But that was really nice. I refer to that when I'm looking at stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a good reference. I should keep it. I should print it out and keep it with my books so I use it more.
Yeah,
So
that's
what
what I did.
else?
It's a placeholder in my Kerrigan book.
Okay, yeah, yeah, that's good. Um, what else does it say? Cap 4 to 11 centimeters, convex or a little blocky at first, becoming broadly convex, dry. At first, nearly bald, becoming finely radially fibrillose and scaly, whitish, developing dingy yellowish areas, not bruising. Yeah, I think I noted there was no bruising. The gills are free and close. Short gills are frequent. Do we see short gills in there? Yeah, I guess there are a fair number. Um, Pallid when young, but soon pink and eventually dark brown. Yeah, so there's a dark brown one and one that's pink on its way to brown, it looks like.
That's the other nice thing about mushrooms in your own yard is you can, if you want to look at one more closely, you don't have to even take the whole thing. Sometimes I'll just grab a couple pieces or whatever off of one and I'll leave the rest of it in the yard to keep going.
Yeah, that's true. You can just bring a little bit. It's easy to bring that in the house to get a sport print or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, if I want some more, I'll just go back out there.
Mm. So anyway, that's what I think that one is.
Nice, thank you.
I think that was it. Was that my
Yeah.
phone? Yeah.
Does anybody else want to share from theirs? We could go, we could take a look at Hunter's lichens.
Actually, can I share? I'm inspired by you, and I was hoping to share. I had it in the chat, and then I didn't want to send it, and it seems to have disappeared. But hold on,
Let
one.
me look in the chat.
Um, I wanted to share. Yes, okay. Hold on, it's coming. Okay, just kind of to stay on theme at least a little longer. If you guys are able to open this, um, then we can look at it. Do you see it, Chris, in the chat?
Uh, yeah, but it's not like a color. You know what
Uh,
I'm saying?
so it doesn't open for you.
Yeah,
No,
it's a JPEG.
darn it.
Path to a JPEG.
Okay, so this was a picture I had.
Plunk it in an email, send it to us.
Okay, yeah, sounds good.
About you other folks, you must have found some stuff in a yard, if not your own yard.
Yeah,
Pull some things up. Let's see it.
yes.
Yeah.
Got a
Dave
couple.
sent
This is
us stuff.
Paul here. Can I show a couple?
Sure.
Yes.
For Paul.
All right, share. This is a this has come up in my yard a couple times, and it's a bolete, and I'm not sure. I think I know what it is, but let's see. Why can't I find this? Ah, this sometimes works. That's no screen.
Igor alert, incoming bully.
Yeah, if I can just I can't, doggone it. I always thought I used to know how to share, and now I can't seem to. Wait a minute. Here we go.
Oh,
Maybe.
you're on to it.
Okay. This one here, I this came up in my yard in the grass, and I think this is Boletus patrioticus, but I'm here in just north, or I'm in Baltimore City here. Um, like I say, came up in the yard.
And then pores.
Some pores here at 1 minute, and then I waited a little while, and then hit it again, and then a cross section here. And this seems to meet some of the requirements from Boletes of Eastern North America book for Boletus patrioticus. I was wondering whether I'm right about that.
I think this idea is correct. This is Boletus patrioticus, except that it's not going to be in Boletus. It's going to actually it's a new genus, and it's a monotypic genus at this time. As to the future name, generic name, I don't know yet, but this identification is correct, 100%.
Oh, that's exciting.
Is it always is it turning from one color to another, or is the red and the blue separate like that?
They're separate. When you cut it, it's already red in there under the cuticle, and then the bluing shows up on the scene.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and this bolete is mostly is in the southeast, but it crawls up, and we do find this in New Jersey, but it's exceedingly rare. One collection actually came from the Pine Barrens, of all places, and I only seen it there once, or anywhere in the Pine Barrens. I've seen it once, but if you look on the Mo, there might be another observation from New Jersey that appears to be Boletus patrioticus. But again, New Jersey is pretty darn rare. Using Jason's system of assessing how rare species are, this is going to be like at the top of the list rare. It likes lawns a lot. Based on what I know about the species from other places, it prefers to grow not in the woods but on the wood edges in grassy areas.
See. And it must be mycorrhizal with something here. I guess
Oaks.
oaks, maybe? Oaks, okay.
Yeah, I think it's an oak associated.
Okay.
But where I found this in the Pine Barrens, it was the FPP area, Speedwell. I know the spot exactly, plus or minus, give or take, 10 yards. It was mixed habitat, maybe predominantly pine. So I would not be completely certain. It might like both types of trees, conifer, hardwoods.
I see. Yeah, not too many oaks. And there's there's a Douglas fir. There's I guess there's a Norway spruce towards the back, but not too many oaks around.
How about a hickory?
Nope.
No? Okay.
Well, and conifers it is because, if it was growing in the Pine Barrens, it was a pitch pine, hard pine. There were no Pinus strobus. So yeah, I mean, it's possible it has the best of the two worlds. But yeah, that particular cross section, that's the key identification trait. But if this species is common in your area, the overall morphology even before cutting, I mean, I think I have my eye is trained enough to see Patrioticus. And as I saw the first pictures, I said, yeah, that's got to be right. But yeah, it just likes to be below the Mason-Dixon line, like a lot of other boletes. It's not just like a historical demarcation line between what is it, Maryland and New Jersey and Pennsylvania. It seems to be the demarcation line for a lot of boletes in terms of their distribution in this country.
Okay.
Some boletes just stay to the north of it, and others don't, go beyond from the south.
I see.
Yeah, edibility unknown, and like I said, it seems to be the only representative of what is going to be a new genus in the world.
I see. And that's to be determined, the name of that genus?
Yeah, we got to come up with a name, and hopefully that's going to be, it is a published species, so it's just a matter of transferring it out of Boletus, which is reserved strictly for porcini um, boletes, so like Edulis and company. So yeah, we got to come up with some kind of a cool generic name. By generic, I mean not something. It's derived from genus. A name. A name for a new genus. That's what I mean by generic.
Yes.
Mhm.
Right.
Got it.
Well, can I show another one that I think is the same, but
Yeah,
is
yeah,
a
sure. Yeah,
younger, maybe?
That looks velvety.
Yeah, it's also in my front yard.
yeah. There's something
Um,
about the that's Patrioticus, I think.
and
Yeah, the cap kind of a color and texture. Yeah, this one resembles more the one I found in the Pine Barrens, and I can share my observation if time permits later on, just to show the similarities. I mean, that's like dead on.
Such a
Yeah,
thin, very tiny pore
yes,
layer, though.
core layer.
you know what? Some boletes have that, except that as they grow older or they uh, grow mature and post-mature, that tube layer becomes very thick. But
Hmm.
in genera like Baorangia and Lanmaua, that tube layer stays thin. I mean, it's going to slightly thicken, but the ratio here, talking about the ratio of the tube length versus the cap width right above the tube, like in the middle. So if you were to draw the line that sort of bisects the tube layer, in half, so you have
Hmm.
half toward the stipe and half toward the edge of the cap. If you measure the depth of the thickness of the cap at that imaginary line, this is where you would calculate the ratio.
Hmm.
So this is going to be like 15 to 1 or something like that. This is
Yeah.
pretty darn thin.
Oh, you're measuring the context above it.
In the middle, like when you like
Right.
talk about chips, you measure their width at a certain I'm not even sure what the terminology is. But it's the maximum
Waterline.
width in basically in the middle, as that's actually how it sounds.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
Yeah. So and of course you see the red pigment right below the cap cuticle, except that it's not as wide here as it is in the other fruit body, but it's the same idea.
Mhm.
Um, okay, just
Lovely.
make sure you understand this kind of olive color around the side is some one of the characteristics as well.
Yeah.
Um, um, and this particularly yellow and maybe pinched sort of base here is also.
Just with enough experience, I think you can idea it from the texture of the cap and the colors,
Mhm.
the certain shade of red and that olivaceous tinges that you get
Yes.
toward the cap margin.
Right. Okay.
So the velvety
Mhm.
and it's kind of rugulose slightly.
Mhm. Very good.
Yeah, it just
Okay.
loves the
Well,
grass.
apparently. All right. Well, thank you so much for that. I was
Did
pretty
you try
sure
to
of it.
eat this one, or you stay away from the species?
No, I did not try to eat this.
Yeah. Well, I'm pretty sure that somebody tried to eat it.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank
That's it for
you.
Yeah,
me.
thank you for
Yes.
sharing.
Yes. Stop here.
Yeah, this is something that we should be on the lookout for in New Jersey. But like I said, apparently it's very, very rare.
All right, we'll have to keep our eyes peeled for that. Do you want to show the one from New Jersey real quick?
Yeah, let me find this. I've got to do a quick search here. It's going to be just 30 seconds. I can do this on MO. And that collection, by the way, got sequenced. And let's see, observations. You know what? I'm actually going to go to my projects or um, my lists and select the one that I think it is in. That'd be the easiest way to find this. I have so many lists here. I think this one here. And I just got to scroll to bees. Mo used to allow me to search by the letter, but now I don't see that.
Man, you got a lot of stuff in there when you
Oh,
gotta.
here, yeah, here it is. I think no, yeah, that's the one. Okay, so let me share right now. Chrome tab, mushroom observer, share. That's the one. And yeah, the GPS coordinates are approximate, but I mean, like I said, within, plus minus give or take 10 yards this way or that way. So that was collected in, well, yeah, 11 years ago. Geez. But you can see similarities between this collection, except
Oh,
that this one
the
didn't.
Gestalt is it's spot on.
Yeah, except that this one did not really stain blue. Look at the cap texture and the color. And there you go.
Oh, look at that.
And that was taken without a flash on my stovetop, so there's a nice contrast with a black background. And
Oh,
yeah,
stovetop. That's a good one.
we have ITS, LSU, and TEF1,
Oh,
and it's. I think I built a tree a while back,
can you blow this
and
up?
what's that?
Can you make this bigger, please?
Yeah, I'll try. That's too big. So it clades in the subfamily Boletoidae, and this is an old tree. So basically, this is in Jambank, and this is a model called a distance-based tree. Don't ask me about what it means, but it's not the maximum likelihood model that most professionals use. This is a quick and dirty tree in Jambank, but often enough, they work pretty well, and sometimes they can be very accurate. Um, so above that, there's this group which is called Pulverobalatus group in the sense of Wu et al. 2016. So now that's the family. It's called Suileloidae after the genus Suilelis. And then I have other um, subfamilies in there represented just by a few genera. And I was able, those little squares or rectangles with names of them are basically genera of boletes in those subfamilies. So yeah, it clades within the Boletoidae, but it's a new genus apparently. It's just not related to anything else. And you can see I have Zircomelus in there. I have Boletus. I have Emilaria. I have Tangioboletus, including
Is
our Oripes.
is that
Yeah.
Uh,
because is is it like an old thing or is it because it's a new thing?
well, I don't. You see, you have to look at a more exact model, which is going to probably take maybe hours or days to go through its iterations to give you like the maximum likelihood, between the relationships, between these genera. So I cannot tell you where this is going to sit at the base um, of the subfamily, or it's going to be somewhere in the middle, or what the associations are. You know, this is just kind of a rough model that gives you a good placement, but it doesn't tell you anything about the relationship between the individual genera within the subfamily. So this is
I'm
just
just always interested in where things land as far as that's concerned. Because,
I
like,
could probably
in my
answer the
yard, I
question.
have a ginkgo, which is just, it doesn't look like any other kinds of trees because it's old.
You mean old
Like the lineage,
lineage? Yeah, yeah, exactly. So is it the basal lineage? Is it more of the younger lineages? I could probably have your question answered if I direct it to Colin Damnauer. He already has massive trees, and he sequenced this species not just with ITS, but maybe even whole genome. So he probably has a very good idea where this thing clades in relation to the other genera within Boleto So I could ask him that, and
it's interesting.
I will probably get an answer soon if I ask, if I don't forget. But
Yeah, it's just cool how that mushroom looks so much. I mean, even though New Jersey and Upper Baltimore aren't, it's not a million miles away, but I don't know. It just seems like for some things that were grown in, different places, how similar they really are.
yeah, the thing is the other window which increased the size of this tree that I hoped it would show, it probably doesn't show because it's a separate window, and since I'm sharing a particular tab in my Chromebook, that window did not show up. So I apologize for that. I forget. Whenever that happens, I forget that I'm sharing not my entire screen, but just a particular tab in the browser. Um, so
Yeah.
anyway, so that's not the type specimen, but this was for a long time a collection with a lot of genetic data in it, so that kind of defined the species genetically for a long time. But I encourage you to look for this species on Mushroom Observer, and you'll see a lot of collections in the southeast, and you'll have a good understanding of what it looks like in relation to other bolides that have red and yellow in the stipe and red caps and yellow bluing pores. But again, the key trait here is to section this and see the patriotic colors, the white, the blue, and the reds in the cap. That's where the name comes from. And
What's your observation number, Igor?
my observation number is 178379.
Thank you.
And I'm going to stop sharing at this time.
Yeah, let me.
I can post this in the chat so people can take a look, because I've written a lot of stuff in there as well. That not that it should interest anyone, but it might. There's no harm in sharing.
So this is the INAP map of it. How do I move this thing?
Yeah, there's only one in New Jersey,
Oh, there
right?
we go. Oh, wait a
It's
minute, wait a minute.
it's allegedly in Florida.
Yeah, you could see that distribution is pretty. Look, there's a
Yeah,
couple.
I'm more interested in the outliers. So anything above the Mason-Dixon line, we should check out and see whether those IDs are correct or not.
Yeah, but
Um,
that single one, Franklin
yeah,
Parker.
and that's by John Plishke, probably, right?
Yeah, looks like his avatar.
Well,
Oh
I didn't
yeah,
see
there
his
you go.
avatar. I know his style of his photographs. Yeah, that idea is
It's a
correct.
lovely photograph.
And this was where FPP.
Yeah.
Do we have a more precise location for it? Can you expand on the map? Can you zoom in? Can you blow it up, please? A little bit more and kind of scroll down so we can see that circle in the middle. That's probably not too far away from where I found it, by the looks of it,
Yeah.
because it is in
Cool.
the speedwell section, and it's. Can you zoom a little bit more?
How's that?
Well, it could
Yeah,
be anywhere in that circle. It doesn't necessarily mean at that
I
pinpoint.
see. Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
Well, it, it's
anywhere in that
it's
circle.
it's in
Oh,
that area, and
Yep.
that's what matters. It's in
Yep.
speedwell. All right, so that's legit. That's good.
Mhm.
yeah. How do I go back one step? Oh,
I
here we
mean,
go.
you might confuse this bully with one Maua, most likely.
And let's
Yeah.
see
Um,
what they're doing in Connecticut.
yeah, looks like that's there too.
Yeah,
I would call that Patrioticus.
it's the only picture.
Who I did this, by the way, let me see.
I don't know who Bushcrafter is.
No, it was if you scroll down, see who proposed
Oh,
Nobody
these
else.
names.
Nobody else.
Nobody else? Okay.
And oh, they used the AI feature to identify it, it looks like.
Oh, I see. Okay, so it was
how do
really
you know
the
that?
See where it says leading there, and then to the right is that little shield thing with the stars around it.
Okay,
Yeah, I
all
think
right,
that.
so that's good. I validate that.
so that's Connecticut. What do we got here?
It wants to be coastal, I think, this thing. Yeah. So let's click on that.
Huh?
Hmm,
Just one photo. Can we zoom
Just
in?
one, just one photo.
doesn't look
Yeah,
like it to
I
me.
mean, it's a little pinkish, but it's hard. It's a terrible picture.
it's a terrible picture. Like I said, Patrioticus again can be confused with other species if you're not well versed in it. I'm not saying this is an incorrect ID, but it's questionable,
And
but
then
possible.
and then the other outlier, we got one in Michigan here.
And again, look at the area. It sort of resembles the coastal plain because it's near the lakes. Again, this is not AI identification. One picture,
It, uh,
Yeah,
no shield, right?
no shield, so
Yeah, well, I'm not I'm
thing
not
looks pretty
impressed.
burnt up.
Yeah, but it's in the grass, and it might look like that when it gets burned.
Yeah.
So possible, but questionable.
uh,
And one more, right? Somewhere in the land
Wisconsin.
of cheese.
Yep.
Wisconsin.
Oh, that looks got some
Man,
color in it.
Yeah,
we got a couple pictures too here.
it looks like. Let's go through that for the other ones. I mean, based on this trait alone, I would say yes. Yeah. How about the second from the right? Yeah.
Younger one, yeah.
It's got that velvety look.
It looks a little bit like Pulchroballadus too. So maybe they have a mixed collection of things.
And
Uh,
this one seems more like reticulate a little
yeah,
bit.
this looks more like Pulchroballadus to me, especially with that yellow band at the cap
Gap
margin.
margin, yeah.
Oh, right
Yeah,
here?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I don't think this is Patrioticus.
But the older one could be.
The other word could be. I mean, clearly they have two different fruiting bodies, and
Do they have any comments?
this one I would say is Petriaticus. The other one
Oh,
is
Oh,
oh
wow.
boy,
Oh, wow. Okay, let's see.
do they? In dry mesic red pine, white pine, diverse hardwoods, blue stains.
see. He
He even
mentions,
mentioned coastal plain.
yeah, he mentions Miniata vivacious. That one is also going to be in Pulchrobaletus, by the way. But that thing is associated with the hemlock only.
Interesting.
Yeah, so they've got to sequence it. I mean, this one I'm pretty sure that is likely Patrioticus because, to my knowledge, this is the only one that does that. You have blue, red, and white, and it looks like like a generic red and yellow bolete with bluing pores on the outside. Yeah, but if you look at the map overall, it's quite rare. You see that Mason-Dixon line?
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah,
this
and right.
invisible boundary, demarcation, like it's like a brick wall. One shall not pass beyond.
Yeah, this is where
False.
it was. So I mean, you're right in the top, the very top of that cluster.
Yep,
Yeah,
right
none
up
in
there.
Pennsylvania, one in New Jersey.
That's
That's
me.
cool.
Does not grab you, huh?
Hmm. That's cool stuff.
Cool stuff. Well,
Paul, you're not far from where the nymph is going to be. Maybe you will show up for that this year.
Yeah, so that's right. Is that, I'm trying to think, that's in sort of western Pennsylvania. Where is that?
no, it's in Montalto. It's very close to you.
Near Gettysburg.
Alto. Gettysburg, even closer. Wow. Oh, yes, I'll have to show up there.
You can even show up like a commuter for one day, if
Sure.
that's enough for you.
Yeah, that's yeah, I'll check it out.
That's going to be 30th of July through 2nd of August.
8th of July. Okay. I shall put that on my calendar.
Super.
Dave sent in some backyard finds. He's not here this evening. He said he had a prior engagement, but his backyard is fairly distinctive, I think, because it seems to me from all of his stuff, it's fairly wooded.
Yeah, Dave's property is fairly large. I'm not sure how many acres he has. I would say probably two at least,
Yeah, I think he
and
said he has three or four.
or
Yeah,
maybe three, four. Like I've
yeah.
been there a couple of times, and the last time was a few years ago. And I mean, I can look it up on the map. I know where he lives, but he has a very variable habitat. But he has one portion of his property that's is heavily wooded, and there's white pine in there. There's oaks. There's hickory. There's all sorts of trees. Even birches that he used
So
to have he had to cut down.
he's got more room to roam around and find interesting things in his yard, which is what makes, yard mushroom topic in general. I mean, it's a really yard dependent.
Well, you can do this. You see the collection location on the right, property at 239 Golf Course Road.
Ah,
If you search for that location and then ask for all the observations from that location, that's going to be Dave's list of species from his property.
oh, that's funny.
So it's not just limited to what he sent us; it's just that
Hmm.
entire um, collage of observations from that particular location on MO
Oh, wow.
assortment.
And this is one of my favorite finds of his. I'm so intrigued by this sour biala, and I would love to find it.
What um what kind of what kind of thing is this even? Is this a
I think it's a jelly.
do you have any? Oh,
Fiasco.
yeah. That's interesting. Cool. Some
So it's a
deep
cough.
litter. Looks like this is where you throw all the yard leaves.
Yeah, I think he said that he's shown this a few times, and I think yeah, it's just under the leaf litter.
And that's it's funny because that's part of the reason why I have I'll find stuff in I keep compost piles, and like I said, the stick pile is just a real good spot to look for stuff. So, if you have that spot in your yard where you can just kind of like toss those things and leave them, sometimes they'll, give you something down the road even.
Yeah,
Oh, he's just showing off.
yeah. This is, and then this is one I think he planted like
This
many
was the
years
planted
ago.
one.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, beautiful.
Yeah, I haven't found one of these in my yard yet. That's for sure.
Me neither. And I've put spores in the yard year after year, and
What do you do do you do the slurry thing?
I should. I don't. I just put my in a area like that's kind of mossy, and I think it would be conducive, but I should do the slurring.
I throw the bluets around, see if they'll come up. I haven't had any come up yet.
That'd be nice.
Escadilliana. Boy, that's a mouthful, that name.
Yeah, this is one of the gyrometras.
Oh, look at that.
That's pretty cool.
Hmm.
Yeah, I think they call that it's like fish lips at the end of the spore. You see um
Yeah, he talks about a coating sheathing. I wonder if that's like what that is, like coming off.
yeah, the tail thing looks like that. I think the fish lips thing is
That right there.
yeah, is just I don't know what to say, but it's a defining characteristic of this mushroom for sure.
Yeah, there was a talk a while back, a NAMA talk
Mm,
about gyromitras, and the guy had a lot of pictures of that. And you're saying that this is in that group of them?
yeah, yep. He mentions it in the talk, and those fish lip spores, Alden Dirks, yeah, and I think this one may have gyrometrin still, may still be considered to have it. You can see his name up there, Dirks.
That's cool.
So it's the new.
Oh,
Yep. In the, yeah, this hyena.
Growing right in a strawberry patch here.
Oh, yeah.
Man,
Interesting. It's kind of interesting.
that's an interesting one for the yard. Like earlier. It's weird. I noticed that too. Like sometimes there's a spot in between mowings where you'll get a lot of mushrooms that come up in that same time frame. That's an interesting I wonder what that's about.
Does he have a spore shot on that?
Those are definitely anthelomas.
Yeah, and they're specifically supposed to be star shaped. I guess they call this like the star pink gill, but I don't know if those really look,
Oh yeah, look at that.
maybe, yeah.
Should you're thinking they should be more star-like?
Not necessarily. I was sort of hoping they'd be star like, but no, I don't know. But that's what the star pink gill name comes from, the spores, which tend to be irregularly star shaped, that it says online. So I was just curious.
Cool.
I don't see a picture anywhere else, but in the observation you're showing so far.
Well, Lepiota-like mushrooms are popular in the yards.
Yeah, they look pretty similar. I found some more.
Oh, look how tiny that is.
That's a lepiota. Hmm.
It's not that tiny. Dave has big hands.
It's
Everything is
not that
relative.
big.
That's not the smallest mushroom. Let's see.
Lepiota cristata is really tiny.
But look at those appendicular margins.
Y-
Interest.
Yeah, I mean it is certainly got that Lepiota look. It just I don't know. I don't think I've ever seen one that
Well, the
tiny.
gills are free. You can even see it from here.
Have you seen cristata, Chris?
I don't think so.
Okay. We have a lot of that, and it's very dainty, very tiny, smaller than this. Do you get that, Igor?
Lepiota cristata, not really. I don't.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I'm that familiar with that mushroom. I mean, I certainly know the name.
Okay. Just wondering.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's not on my property. I have. When I say I have, I live in an HOA, and we have 24 acres of land, and I have 103 observations from my condo association
Oh,
Oh,
that's a
from
nice
Mushroom Observer.
collection.
yeah.
Yeah, but I cannot say I've seen any Lepiodes on my property
Mm.
or any Lepiothoid fungi.
And do you find yourself doing the like where a thing popped up, so you're eyeballing that spot?
Yeah, well, we have a diverse collection of trees that has been actually decimated in the last several years by the unfriendly um HOA board of trustees who hate trees. But we have white pines, we have oaks, we have beech, and those are the only and the basswood. And believe it or not, basswood is a mycorrhizal tree, and it's mycorrhizal with a diverse number of fungi. There's one tree in particular that has at least 4 or 5 species that grow with it of different fungi. Some are European, some are North American. And then we have other trees that, like maples or sweet gums, that don't produce any mycorrhizal partners that are macro fungi. So yeah, I mean, I know where these trees are, and there's like one large grove of predominantly beech and some um, oaks, and that's where a lot of boletes sometimes come out. That area needs a lot of rain. I think there's a thick canopy and the ground is very hard. There's also a lot of leaves on the ground from beech trees, and it takes a lot of rain to penetrate all that detritus before it can be absorbed into the ground before it runs off. So
Hmm.
you have to have, consistent and plentiful rainfall, like almost every week to get mushrooms in that grove of beech trees. But like I said, there's been 1 or 2 years that were wet, and things popped up there in abundance. But you're right. Yeah, it's basically isolated spots where there are old trees that have mycorrhizal partners, mushrooms, and you have to watch those areas.
Yeah, because I mean, I've been in some developments that are partially planted out, but then they leave these little pockets of maybe what was there before they bulldozed everything. And it's funny to see like the weird stuff that pops up because they'll just plant, 10 pine trees in one spot, and it's just this weird, like completely separate habitat that's just been kind of stuffed in.
Yeah, well, that's what we are, because this is where I actually found that the European Sulis granulatus and Sulis brevis that were presumed to be associated with hard pines actually can grow with white pines. But I'm pretty sure that those trees came from a nursery that handled a lot of conifers, and this is where that jump from one type of a pine to another type of a pine occurred. But I've only seen this happen here on my property and nowhere else.
Cool.
But
I mean, that's a redefinition on, backyard fungi, 26 acres of development.
yeah, I think it used to be some kind of a I wouldn't say orchard, but it's been like a wooded area, and I think some of the trees here are older than the community itself. I think the community was built in the early 70s. So it's
So even the
about,
planted trees have got a couple years on them.
pardon me?
So even the planted trees have a good couple years on them.
Right. So I think there's some oaks here that are older than 50 years, and maybe even pine trees, white pines. We don't have any other kind of pines, only white pines. Um, so yeah, it's probably the land was bulldozed partially, and then the buildings were sort of built around the remaining trees, and then there were other trees planted later on elsewhere on the property. So so yeah, it's like a little microcosm, like 24 acres of land, various trees, and there's been some mushrooms that I only seen once. They never popped up again, and I know they're there. I mean, the mycelium is there, but I've never seen them fruit again in that same location or with the same trees.
Yeah, I mean, looking for things where I find things previously. I can, I know in a certain weather and a in the right time period on my way home from work, uh, where all the where all the chicken mushrooms are gonna come out. And so even in my yard, like I just, I the time of year and the weather, I got an extra close look at, a certain chunk of my yard to see if this thing or that thing's gonna come back around.
Right. Well, I can say this that I think I plateaued quite quickly with all the mushrooms because, like I said, I've lived here for 13 years, and the vast majority of mushrooms I found my first maybe 5 years or so, and after that, I think I haven't added many new species to the list. And the last year, I only found one bolete that I've never seen here before, and was growing with river birch, and it happened to be a Maua. That's going to be a new species, but that particular species is not just didn't come from this tree. It's widespread. It's The first collections were found elsewhere, but finally I was able to find this species on my own because I've never seen it in the flesh, or maybe only once at a foray, and only after sequencing. But yeah, it's at the same time, I've seen some mushrooms only once, and I tried to look for them again, and I never seen them again. I'm not sure
Hmm.
why. Like there were like these interesting Russulas that were growing with the linden or the basswood trees, and on the lawn, between the service road and the highway, King's Highway, and I only saw them once in there, and I kept checking year after year about the same time of the year, and they were not there again. Probably because that area gets mowed often.
Hmm.
So yeah, I mean, I regret not saving them because they were very interesting. They had deep lilac, bluish caps, and I suspect they're probably European too.
Nice.
Wow, that sounds
En-
awesome.
Enjoying the yard.
Yeah, and another interesting mushroom that I found on my property, but not since 2018, I think, was Agaricus crocodilinus, and it doesn't look like the species that Myrtle described because the morphology, I think, changes with the habitat for that species a lot. It's quite variable, but the
What
DNA
was the
proves
name on that?
Agaricus crocodilinus,
Like
like
crocodile?
like crocodile. Yeah,
Oh, that's fantastic. I would assume that's from the texture.
yeah. When I think it's a Myrtle species, or maybe it's peck. I forget, but it was described from an area that was very open and kind of hostile, very windy, and the cap texture of that particular population of this agaricus resembled the appearance of the skin of a crocodile. But my
Oh, I'm
collection
looking
looked
at it
very,
right.
very different, and yet the DNA is the same, and the spores were large too.
Oh, wow.
I think in Europe they called it microsporus, but crocodilinus is an earlier name.
Oh, that's a cool looking mushroom. I want to find it.
It's probably very edible. I think it's from the same section as arvensis.
Chris, can we show the picture I sent of my yard and save the lichens for next time?
The yard. Oh yeah. Let me check the email here.
Jason is not here today, huh?
No, and I've got quite a few, and maybe I can do a little more research on them too. Um I like this yard theme, and I wish I had a lot
Oh
more.
man.
This is my
I
back.
need some of this in my garden.
Yeah, and these are all oak logs that I grow shiitake mushrooms on. And but that being said, sometimes I get some other mushrooms growing on them, and yeah, there's not a lot of shiitakes. I think there's like a few here and there, but that's not why I took the picture to show off the mushrooms. I just happened to take it, and this was on my phone. So, but I've had Mycena leiana grow on one of the logs, and I showed a picture of it before. And then I've had hypoxylon on a couple of these logs, and I've had and so I'm hoping to get Tremella fusiformis that parasitizes hypoxylon. And so I've brought sticks from the wild with that on it back into this yard, but so far haven't had much success. Um, and and so just if you are interested in shiitake growing, I have a large like horse trough by the garage there, and that's where I do my cold soaks on the logs. And although it's not really recommended that you put plastic over logs, those are actually fruiting logs under the plastic. And I've found that they dry out too quick. I just don't have enough shade. I have this one maple on the right by the bird bath that is providing a lot of it, and then there's two tall hackberries on the other side of the fence behind it that help out. Um, but
You just want more shade?
yeah, but I mean, it really the ideal place to grow these is in a conifer forest where you have the shade all year round. So oak logs in a conifer forest is is sort of the ideal. But yeah, because the logs are you have to keep the moisture level consistent and high enough. So yeah, but in my front yard, which you can't see here, I found bird's nest fungi in the mulch in front of the house, Cyathus striatus, and that's the one that's kind of ribbed, and it has sort of blue gray little eggs in it. And I've shown you guys pictures of stinkhorns that grow there as well. And then in that email with the lichens, there's two links to 2 yard mushrooms. So we should look at those, but skip the lichens. Yeah, they're like nestled in between, I think, up above, right in there.
Oh,
Yeah. So at least one looks like it'll open. Yeah. So,
oh,
and I think I've shown this before. This was growing in the shiitake bed, like right kind of nestled in between a log. And I don't have a species name. I think it's Satharaliaceae, that family, but it could be, I think, a few things. Does anyone have? I think I've shown it before, and we got Satharelli. Oh, I do have another picture. Good, yeah. And that orange, I think, is typical of Satharella. Is that correct? That you see on the gill edges near the margin.
yeah, I don't know. Don't they usually have like a real like a black spore print, Zatharellas?
I believe so.
And you think this
Got it.
coloration that tells you?
Well, I feel like actually in that dung presentation Sunday that one of the guys from Scotland was saying that, or one of the guys. Lila, did you catch that by any chance? I know you caught the talk, but
Yeah, say again. What
uh,
specifically was said?
um, I thought he was saying one of the characteristics of Sapphirella was this in the underside of the margin. on the ones laying down, you can see kind of this orange tint. And so I thought that might have confirmed, but yeah, I believe they have um dark. It's a dark spore print. I would think black is right. So I don't know, but
Yeah, definitely dark sport. I can't remember the detail about the that coloration, but yeah, possibly.
okay.
You know,
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, right. That
there
would.
was so much information in that lecture.
Yeah, it was really good. I really enjoyed it. I'm so glad I was able to see it. Um, yeah. So, anyways, these
That's
crop up.
that's
Whoops.
that's a good spot in the yard too, down in them logs.
Yeah, yeah.
What happened here?
Okay, so maybe it won't open. Looks like what's that spider business? Yeah, I can see it's not really underlined. I wonder if you copy and paste it into the browser. Oh yeah, it should open though. Yeah, huh.
Mushroom Observer org.
Oh, it's not,
You had another one in there?
no, just those two. Hmm.
Hmm.
Yeah, bummer. I wonder if you just copy and paste it and
Oh, that number. What's that? I don't know.
552146.
yeah, I wonder if I lost a character there or something.
No, no, I don't know. I don't know.
Chlorophyllum molybdites, that
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
that's it.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah, so it, yeah, try just copying that and pasting that in the whole thing, maybe.
Here, I'll put the thing in the chat for Chris
Okay.
if he wants it.
Okay, because actually, although we mentioned it, we didn't really get a picture of it tonight.
Right.
Um, and it was in my presentation last week as it is referred to as the sickener, and it is a poisonous mushroom and
Huh.
one of the most common, it causes probably the most poisonings, in fact. Um, but it grows in lawns, and the if we can see it I found it in a front yard, and it has a green spore print, and it's a beautiful mushroom with scales, and it's pretty cool.
Somebody else wants to
Was in the chat.
share it from their screen. That thing does not like me.
Oh, it didn't open either.
No, it went right back to the same
Oh,
page.
All
did
right,
it?
I got it.
Okay, thanks.
You guys see it? Here's the spore
Oh,
print.
yeah, cool. Yeah, so here's
Oh,
a
nice.
print. Yeah, and these were really big, and I still have them dried because I just was like, oh my gosh, what beautiful mushrooms! It just gorgeous.
Yeah,
I do
huge.
love when they come up.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
look how white the gills are initially, and those will turn quite an olive green color as they mature and dry out.
Yeah, they
yeah.
have the nice marginate gills too.
Uh,
They get like a
that's not coming to mind, but doesn't mean it doesn't happen.
What does that mean again?
The it's usually when the gills are marginate, the very edge, the knife edge part of the gill itself is a darker color than the surface
Oh,
blade.
I love that. Yeah,
Yeah, and it's
yeah,
usually reflective of the cap color
mm,
more so too.
yeah. So you didn't see that though here.
Yeah, I don't think I really see that.
I
I
don't
love
think the
the,
species has that.
I
they
love
don't they
it.
have an interesting edge?
Not these guys.
No.
Yeah.
How do I zoom in here? Let's see. Can I?
What are some of the ones that do though? There's does Mycena leiana actually have that? I think.
Yes.
Yeah. And then yeah, I don't know of any others, but I would like to.
Well, a few years ago, we collected a species of Megacalibia, and that one, I think Lila, you remember that was from Stokes,
Yes. Yes.
Did
and
that,
we thought it was something new, and we sequenced it. It was just a regular Rhodmanii.
Yeah.
but
It,
it had marginate gills.
Yeah,
right.
it had distinctly marginate gills. I
Were
think
they
it's
like
the
dark?
Cystidia that are colored or something like that. It's the terminal cells on the edges of the blades,
Yeah, that's
cutting
a
edges.
cool thing to see.
I can probably find that
I,
observation and
you know what? I looked
That
at
would
my
be
chlorophyllum. I'll show you after.
good. Yeah, I know you didn't really show us your mushrooms. Just you just showed us where we can find them if we come to your house.
uninvited.
Yeah.
I did.
But these chlorophyllums are really are kind of great fun to find because usually there's multiple of them in multiple um, ages of maturity, and the ring, the annulus is just wild on them as well as all of this
Yeah, what is showing?
ornamentation, if you will, on the cap. It's just
I know my neighbors look at me funny when I mow around mushrooms.
Yeah, so is that church actually there or was it?
I was right next door.
Oh, okay. So we couldn't really see it though, right? The church.
Nah, you see the parking lot.
Yeah, I see. That's what the parking's for. Oh, okay. Got it. Got it.
Yeah. Yeah, that is a old church. I
Neat.
think I think it's from the 17 like late 1700s.
Oh, wow. Do they ring bells?
Oh my God, do they?
Oh boy.
And it's always wrong.
Oh, really? That's funny.
Always.
I like actually being able to hear it, but maybe not right next door. Yeah.
I hear the bells go off and I know it's 15 minutes past.
That's too funny. Oh my gosh.
So do you want to see those emarginate gills on Megacalibia rhodmanii?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, let me share that enlarged image. Okay, never mind. Somebody else is sharing.
no, no. You should
Oh,
be able to
okay.
share. I
And
stopped.
so this is just like sort of a freak or should we be able to see it in all of these, do you think?
Oh
Oh
yeah, look at that.
Yeah,
yes. Wow.
Oh my gosh.
That is so cool.
and that just turned out to be a regular rhodmanii by DNA. And I'm like, seriously? You
Yeah,
got to be kidding me.
we were
Wow.
shocked.
Huh.
Yeah, so that was from 2023. That was just over 2 years ago, August, I think. Speaking of Stokes, Lila, did you get that strange email from Nina?
Uh, when? I don't think I did.
Okay, maybe you were not on the list. So apparently, we're not going to have Stokes in August. They want to charge us entrance fees.
Oh,
So Nina had to scramble and reschedule it for September 26th, which I think is not a good idea.
yeah, no, she didn't send that to me.
Why? I mean, because they'll still charge entrance fees or it's a bad
What,
time of year.
like $10 they had to get in or something. What is it?
Yeah, something like that. I mean, I think it used to be 7, but that
Mhm.
that might have changed to a larger amount. I would
Okay.
say maybe at least $10 for residents and maybe more for non-residents. But I'm now beginning to wonder whether it's not just that particular state forest, but all the state forests in New Jersey would not allow us to enter for free between Memorial Day and Labor Day weekend.
Yeah, could be.
So Hackle-Barney could also be affected, but Nina didn't say anything about Hackle-Barney.
Yeah, harder. Hackle Barney doesn't have that nice little gatehouse like Stokes has, so it'd be harder to snag people there, I think.
Oh, so it doesn't have like um, a turnpike kind of thing with a building where people have to stop by and pay their fees?
No, not at Hackle Barney.
Not Hackle-Barney, okay, because Stokes at Kittlefield does. You remember that, right?
Yeah.
There's a gate there. You have to stop. You must stop. Okay, so maybe that's the only park that's on the schedule for that period of time that charges fees because it's a state park.
I'm gonna get going to bed here now, but Chris, thank you so much. That was so fun. I really loved that. Thank you,
So,
everybody.
so this is molybdites within the marginate gills.
Yeah. Yeah, this one's from my yard right under that hedgerow, like I said.
So is it a variable feature or they're always a marginate? Because I don't recall seeing a
I
Oh,
marginate gills on.
yes.
I think they're always that way.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know. I gotta
Mm,
look at some of mine. I don't
It's
recall.
not as
I don't recall
distinct.
either.
Like this is a real close,
It
you know.
could be a variable feature
Yeah.
because Rodmania is typically not a marginate, but that one
Yeah.
was.
Where's the rest of your chlorophyllum here? Can we see the other pictures of it?
Oh yeah, I got there was a took
Oh,
that one and took some in the house here.
and you got a spore print too? That it's
And
Did I?
you are certain this is molybditis or molybdites because it has a green tinge to the gills when it's mature. Yes,
oh,
okay.
Oh yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Oh,
That's
well, that's
pretty.
pretty neat. You can really see it right there, even. Yeah. Mm, how cool. Mm.
I know maybe I haven't seen these in a while because I know what they look like, so I don't really turn them up. I mean, they grow on my property, on different locations. They just, I guess, pop up
I mean, this
randomly
could.
on the lawn.
But I
And
don't
this.
think you could see it on mine, or could you?
I mean, I don't know if they this is a pretty like like this spot, like it looks shady right now because of the time of day that this was taken, but uh this is right on the edge of the driveway. I mean, the sun beats down on this spot. I mean, that could be maybe why the gills appear that way, like it gets just punished in this spot for like 7 hours during the summer, just brutal sun. And it's like 1,000,000 degrees because you can see behind it, there's another gravel driveway right there.
Oh, I mean, in general, are we saying that marginate gills is not a consistent feature among
I
species?
don't think it is. I
Oh,
just looked up on Google. I basically asked Google a question: does chlorophyllum molybdites or molybdites have emarginate gills? And AI said that it does not.
Hmm.
but
Maybe it misinterpreted the word emarginate. Maybe it thought they were attached.
Yeah. I mean,
So
it's not always this pronounced when I see it, but they always seem that there's something doing on the edges.
Maybe that's just where the spores are maturing first. I don't know. I'm zoomed in trying to look at at a photo I took. Remember, we found it on the 25th of August when you were here, Hunter, and
Oh yeah.
yeah, my photos of that. I didn't take any
Well,
real good gill close-ups, unfortunately. So
I'm going to say this. I'm basically looking up Michael Kuhl's description right now,
yeah.
and he says, free from the stem or slightly attached to it, crowded, short gills frequent, white when young, becoming grayish green to brownish green as the spores mature. But
Mm.
he doesn't say that the gill edges are emarginate.
Hmm.
Maybe you have something unique there, or it's just a freak.
It could be just a variable feature.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Well, like the megacolibria, it's
right.
you said you don't normally find them that way, right?
Right. Rodmania never has emarginate gills to
Uh,
my knowledge. I mean, all the
uh,
other Megacalibias that I found that were definitely Rodmania just had white gills through and through.
so
Yeah.
that's yeah. Okay.
So maybe there's some kind of genetic mutation, and voila, you just have uh, recessive, and two copies of the gene, and a recessive trait shows up, and you have these pigmented gill edges. Who knows?
All
Yeah,
right.
they
Well,
grow
let's,
all over the neighborhood. I have to pick them from around the neighborhood and see and
yeah,
see
let's all
see if there's
look,
variation.
try to remember to check that this year.
For
Cool.
sure. Before I run anything for next week, or no, or we don't know yet.
I don't know yet.
Okay.
We'll
I'll,
have to
I'll
figure
check
that out.
it
You
out.
got any suggestions?
Not well, um, let's see. Um,
You don't have to give one.
yeah, okay. Yeah, no, I don't know. I mean, I guess I like focusing on genuses and stuff. So any genus really would I wouldn't mind. But also yeah, I don't know. I love this backyard business so much more than I thought I would. I really liked it. It was a great idea. So, but yeah, but if I'll do I need to resend the lichens for next week, or can we just get them? You want me to resend those?
No, no.
Everyone at Taxonomy Tuesday's got them.
Yeah, we all
Okay.
get it.
Okay, great. Okay. Good night, guys. Bye.
Bye,
Good night,
Hunter.
Hunter.
All
Yeah,
right.
I got to get going too. I have to get up early tomorrow. So,
Yeah, it's after 9.
Yeah, I'm signing.